and welcome to this special edition of Studio 5. We are taking you behind the scenes of the Sheep Detectives.
If there's one secret to happiness in my life, it's taking care of the kindest creatures on earth.
Hugh Jackman is the Good Shepherd.
Keeping them well fed, well groomed, and each day I read out loud to them.
In the Sheep Detectives. And Studio 5 is behind the scenes and on the red carpet.
The details of this story are so bizarre and fantastical and whimsical. That's what really drew me to it.
This film is based on Leonie Swan's debut novel, 3 Bags Full, where a flock of sheep become detectives to solve the murder of their beloved shepherd, George. Hugh Jackman is George, but before we get to him, we sit down with Nicholas Braun. He plays Officer Tim Derry.
Take 1A camera mark.
Something terrible happened. Our shepherd was murdered.
No! George is dead?
Probably a heart attack. Not much of a story for you, I'm afraid.
Unless there's anything out of the ordinary.
Nope, I've looked everywhere. Around the caravan, underneath the caravan.
What about inside the caravan?
Worth a shot.
I heard Hugh Jackman say he read the script, and before he got even completed with it, he immediately called and said, I got to do this. What's your reaction as you're reading the script? What happens?
Yeah, I mean, I was told the log line, talking sheep, murder mystery. You would be working with the sheep to solve it. I was like, this is crazy.
Officer Derry, I am George Hardy's lawyer. He wrote a will. In the nighttime stories, the people in the will are always the suspects.
That man had nothing.
Well, actually, there is $30 million.
My agent was like, just read it. Just give it a chance. Be open. Of course, you know, Craig Mason wrote it. But yeah, as soon as I started reading it, I'm like, this is nothing I've ever read. I'll never be sent a movie like this.
The policeman is completely hopeless. We need to help him.
You think you're brave enough to leave home?
We're not scared.
What is that?
The fact that Tim becomes like the hero of the film and, you know, starts as kind of like a loser in town. I'm not a detective, just an officer, always detecting, you know, and finds himself over the course of the movie. I was like, I need to play this part, and I need to be in a movie like this, because I felt like it just checked so many boxes. It's such a like endearing film and funny film and all of that, but you know, it's really like saying something. The messages are really, you know, special. I don't think many films, especially many kids' films, deal with death and loss and grief and, you know, the void that is there when you lose like the most important person in your life. So I don't know, I was in also very early on. I was like, oh God, I hope Tim becomes the hero. And it happened. So yeah.
What did you like most about being the police officer, Tim? What did you like most about the character?
I like that he's kind of like, you know, he's sort of faking it till he makes it in the beginning. Just like lying, kind of.
I have a question. Do you have a boyfriend? That's a standard question.
You know, he's like, yeah, nothing to see here, really. Just sort of, it's a heart attack, probably.
What happened? Probably a heart attack. Not much of a story for you, I'm afraid.
Doesn't want to like look for clues. Doesn't want to make. Needs it not to be a murder. And I just love that he can't lie. He has to confront this and has to really do it.
Yeah.
And really step up to the plate. So it was fun to figure out, how does he gain courage? You know, those moments with the sheep where they're connecting, it's like, all right, I have to figure out how to look at a stuffed animal on the other side of the camera and like make a connection with them. Where they're looking, I'm like, I know the CG is gonna be really good here, so I'm gonna just picture, you know, and just try and have this connection. So it was fun to figure out his whole arc with them.
Who's your favorite sheep?
My favorite sheep? Wow, I haven't been asked yet who my favorite sheep is. The Winter Lamb. The Winter Lamb. The whole movie, I'm like, just let her in. I think it's a her. It sounds like a her, but I'm just like, bring them in and let them be a part of the family. It's a really heartbreaking part of the movie. So I was rooting for the Winter Lamb, and I feel that Tim is also the Winter Lamb of the town. So I think I'm also kind of, I really related to that.
I like that.
And when I read the script, the Winter Lamb was the first thing I said to my team when I was talking about the movie. I was like, man, the Winter Lamb, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah. And I think when I saw the movie, I hoped that it would live up to that feeling too. That everything that character, everything that part of the story brings. I feel like that's like a spoiler. I feel like I never want to like talk about it too much because it's a really meaningful part of the movie. But I think it turned out really well.
Well, it's all on your shoulders now, Officer Derry.
Every time something happens with this case, that's my hat! There they are. A clue. Thank you all.
The Sheep Detectives opens nationwide in theaters May 8th. Still ahead, Hugh Jackman shares why he took on the role as the Good Shepherd.
George is like a father to these sheep. And, I'm one of 6 children, so I'm used to a father who had to sort of support, love, give equal attention to, find out the problems of each one, like understand each one individually.
Which sheep do you most identify with?
Sebastian.
Why? Oh, why?
Because I am Sebastian. I'm a big, grouchy softy, kind of grumpy on the outside, very nice on the inside. And I appreciate that Sebastian, he's not always somebody that wants to be with people all the time or with his own flock all the time. He needs to go away sometimes. He needs to be alone, but he always comes back.
Studio 5 is expanding on YouTube, and you can help us to grow the platform by subscribing. Simply search Studio 5 with Efrem Graham. There you will discover the latest in uplifting entertainment, exclusive first looks on the latest films, music, and lifestyle content, plus one-on-one interviews with some of your favorite actors and recording artists. Simply search Studio 5 with Efrem Graham on YouTube. Please do it today. Welcome back to this Sheep Detectives edition of Studio 5. We're on the red carpet in New York City for the premiere, and the Good Shepherd, Hugh Jackman, stops by to chat.
4, take 5. If there's one secret to happiness in my life, it's taking care of the kindest creatures on earth. Sheep. I want you to meet my flock.
So you are the Good Shepherd in this film, if you will. When you're reading the script, what is it about being the Good Shepherd that made Hugh Jackman say, yeah?
But I guess because I'm a father.
Wake up! Well, I know I'm gonna be. I keep them well fed, well groomed. When my chores are finished and the sun starts to sink low in the sky, I choose a book to read out loud to them. Detective novels, mysteries, whodunits, all my favorites.
I know when Rodney Hollingshead was murdered, and I know who the real killer was.
I like to pretend that they follow along with the story, but I know in my heart that as special as they are, they're still sheep.
No, no more. Go on, a lot of you. I'll read the ending tomorrow.
Why would he stop there?
He was just about to say who the killer was.
This is torture.
George is like a father to these sheep. And, I'm one of 6 children, so I'm used to a father who had to sort of support, love, give equal attention to, find out the problems of each one, like understand each one individually. Now, as a shepherd, it's more like 500. But still, what I love about this is the way George really loves each one for their uniqueness and lets them see that. And so I think that's what really connected me.
Wake up! Everybody wake up! We found George on the grass, and he's not moving.
What? Lily, tell us what to do.
Our shepherd was murdered. And we shall solve the crime.
What's your thought immediately after reading this? Something new, something different?
The first thought when I read this script by Craig Mazin, who, you don't know, did everything from a hangover to Chernobyl. So this guy can do anything. But when I heard the premise that it was like Babe meets Knives Out, I was like, okay. The degree of difficulty on this is super high, and I was blown away. I think it's the best script I've ever read.
Wow.
I just thought it was a perfect script. It was funny and smart and heartwarming, and it ticked every box for me.
Okay, that's enough for tonight. Off you go. No, no more.
Of course, Hugh Jackman is well known as Wolverine in the X-Men franchise. He's also had a career in theater as well, winning 2 Tony Awards. One of those for Best Actor in the musical, The Boy from Oz. Well, right now, it's time for one of our favorite moments. Time for this week's Studio 5 Snapshot. And this week, we take a look at a few pics from the set of The Sheep Detectives. And that's this week's Studio 5 Snapshot This Week. Still ahead, we head back to the red carpet to talk more to the cast, the director, the screenwriter, and the woman who wrote the novel some 20 years ago. You wrote the book that inspired the movie.
Yes.
When you were writing the book, did you envision that something like this would happen?
Not really. I mean, sort of, in your wildest dreams, obviously, but it's my debut novel, so my big goal was to get it published, never mind having a film done. So yeah, this is a nice surprise.
Take me to life on set. What did that feel like? What was that like?
Oh my God, this was, I would love to go back to where we shot. I mean, it was like one of my favorite locations I've ever been to. All the sets, the pasture, the little town. We were shooting in like a couple little villages. It was like just the most beautiful summertime. I stayed out there. I didn't go back to London every night. We were shooting like 45 minutes or an hour outside of London. I stayed out there in like a little bed and breakfast so I could just like be in the countryside for this shoot. And I don't know, it's kind of the dream when you get jobs like this, and that's where you end up going every day.
Studio 5 is expanding on YouTube, and you can help us to grow the platform by subscribing. Simply search Studio 5 with Efrem Graham. There you will discover the latest in uplifting entertainment, exclusive first looks on the latest films, music, and lifestyle content, plus one-on-one interviews with some of your favorite actors and recording artists. Simply search Studio 5 with Efrem Graham on YouTube. Please do it today. Welcome back to this special look at The Sheep Detectives. I hit the red carpet at the film's premiere in New York City at the Rose Theater at Jazz at Lincoln Center.
For Baker, take 2, camera mark.
Our shepherd was murdered.
No! George is dead?
What will we do? George loved us. He read us dozens of these stories. We shall solve the crime.
So tell me about the process of getting this film made. How long has it been?
19 years.
19 years?
It's been 19 years since I was in my doctor's office, and I said, "What are you reading?" And she said, "Oh, I'm reading a book about a shepherd who's murdered and the sheep who solve the crime." And I said, "That's the greatest idea for a movie I've ever heard."
You all think you're smart enough to solve a crime. Do you know what humans call stupid people who can't think for themselves?
Ducks!
Sheep!
You wrote the book that inspired the movie.
Yes.
When you were writing the book, did you envision that something like this would happen?
Not really. I mean, sort of, in your wildest dreams, obviously.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I want to bash it! I want to bash it so bad!
Stop!
What's it like now to see your story on screen?
It's quite surreal. It's wonderful, and I'm super chuffed for my sheep, to be honest. Because I'm very much a character-driven writer.
He's talking about you.
For me, it's coming from animation. It's amazing what can be created, inside of a stage.
A person cannot be prosecuted twice for the same crime. I know when Rodney Hollingshead was murdered, and I know who the real killer was.
Take me then to the first time you're sitting in a theater and you see this on the screen. What was it like?
Well, it was everything I'd hoped for, to hear people laugh out loud, kids and adults. And then to hear people sobbing with joy at the end. You know, that's the movie you imagine.
The mystery will be solved when I read the ending tomorrow.
Why would he stop there?
You read the script. What is it that compels you to want to do this project?
Oh gosh, well, a few things. First of all, the script is incredibly unusual. It's not derivative. I mean, it's certainly got genre, various genres threaded into it. You know, mystery, action, exactly.
So you read the script. What makes you say, I want to be a sheep?
Yeah, I know. It's something I never thought I would be or do. I just, you know, I'm a big fan of Craig Mazin and his writing, and I think every time he does something, you know, he does comedy, he does drama, to see him do like mystery or comedy, whatever, and kids, it was great to read, it was funny.
What do you recall most of the first time you read the script? Why'd you say yes? What about it?
I love that I didn't know who did it. Like, in a very basic sense, it's a page turner. I'm like, oh, I have an idea of it's definitely going to be this person. And then when it turned out not to be, I was like, oh, that's good. And that makes sense, and that'll work as a viewer.
The details of this story are so bizarre and fantastical and whimsical. That's what really drew me to it. Yeah.
The real world is more complicated than a book.
We're not scared.
Mappa, what is that?
I think it's a road.
What I wasn't expecting was how moving the story was, how beautiful it was, and how much I felt at the end. It lures you in with the promise of adorable sheep doing fun things, and then takes you by surprise.
Look around for a better window.
I'm going in.
To see that they get such a big audience now and out there in the world in ways that I really didn't imagine when I started writing. It's wonderful.
This is such a type of story that I love, about, you know, really underdog characters trying to do something that's much bigger than them, and them kind of learning what agency they have through the process.
This is a movie for literally everyone. I don't care where you live, where you're from, who you are, what you believe, none of it matters. This is a movie for human beings. And it surprises you.
I love it. I love it.
It was really heartfelt, and I just, I love that when I'm able to make something for, you know, a younger demographic that actually says something and is also entertaining.
I love this film. The Sheep Detectives opens nationwide in theaters Mother's Day weekend. Bit of the memory lamb, if you will. How much of Chris is in Mopple? How much of Mopple is in Chris?
I have a terrible memory. I can't remember 5 foot ahead of me. So I was glad to play somebody with a little bit better mental staying power. But I do have a similar relationship with food. You know, he remembers things through sense memory. He has it connected to his gut. And I do think that I can be ruled through food also.
Studio 5 is expanding on YouTube, and you can help us to grow the platform by subscribing. Simply search Studio 5 with Efrem Graham. There you will discover the latest in uplifting entertainment, exclusive first looks on the latest films, music, and lifestyle content, plus one-on-one interviews with some of your favorite actors and recording artists. Simply search Studio 5 with Efrem Graham on YouTube. Please do it today. Welcome back to Studio 5. You know, music helps us to bring you this show each and every week, and this week's soundtrack comes from the Sheep Detective soundtrack, which includes a wonderful mix of upbeat songs and classic sounds. Take a listen, and you'll hear why Carlos Zach's Right Here, Right Now is what's playing in my ear this week.
What's up? I've been thinking about you non-stop. No need to wait for someday. Let's slip it up right here, right now. So smile a little, Love a little more. Don't hold back what life has in store. The clock is ticking, but we're still free. Come on, let's make this memory.
You'll hear that in the film, right here, right now. On that musical note, we are just about out of time for this week's edition of Studio 5, so let's take a quick look at next week's rundown.
The altar is the cross, which most people don't understand because they run from the cross.
It's four-time World Series champion Darryl Strawberry with a preview of his new book, set for release in August.
You've got a book, Another Life, Discovering the Healing Power of Purpose, of Power and Purpose, on my long journey, my long journey from player to preacher.
You had to
make that
mention
long.
It was a long journey. I'm grateful for the long journey because God extended time. If God doesn't extend time, you're dead. You know, after cancer twice, one kidney, major heart attack, addiction, just so many things. And for him to step in the middle of that and block the enemy, because he has that power.
Hey, join us for that and so much more come next week. As for this week, we've got time for just one more thing. We're getting the final word to actress Regina Hall, who plays the voice of Cloud in The Sheep Detective. She's got some great advice on how to handle failure. You have had staying power in this industry, and I was watching an interview with you the other day where you said that failure became a joke. If you would get it, you would
Wake up! Wake up!
you would call it. I didn't get another one. What's kept you going?
Maybe that. I don't know. I mean, I think there is something about. I mean, I have a great team, but so that goes without saying. But I think in terms of the emotional ability, you do have to let it roll off your back. You have to just know what's in you, I think, more than the nose. And yeah, you make a joke of it. I mean, I'd be like, I got 8 in a row. Broke my own record, you know? There's some pride in that too. You know, you can take pride in the failures.
Laugh and learn through it all. Regina Hall, thank you so much. That's a great final word for this week's Sheep Detectives edition of Studio 5 and this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you, and then please come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.